Hello and welcome to Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. What are we talking about today? The National Council of State has approved the nomination of Professor Joash Ojo Amukwiton as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC. This was disclosed in the statement by the Special Assistant to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. He said that President Bola Tinubu presented Amukwiton as the nominee to fill the vacant position following Professor Mahmoud Yakubu's exit. Yakubu served from 2015 to October 2025. The big question there is, will the appointment of a new INEC chairman make any difference? People are calling for electoral reforms, not new INEC chairman. This is what we're talking about today. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Souls, you can call me Mr. Souls, but officially, I am Solomon of Welcome to Matters. If you're just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Again, what are we talking about today? The National Council of States has approved the nomination of Professor Joash Ojo Amukwiton as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC. This was disclosed in the statement by the Special Assistant to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. He said that President Bola Tinubu presented Amukwiton as the nominee to fill the vacant position following Professor Mahmoud Yakubu's exit. Yakubu served from 2015 to October 2025. The big question is, will the appointment of a new INEC chairman make any difference, especially at a time where people are calling for electoral reforms? And what we're seeing is a new chairman. Will it make any difference? Joining me to talk about this is Tunde Kolawole. He's a legal practitioner and current affairs analyst. Barrister Kolawole, thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me, my brother, and good afternoon to all the good people listening to us today.
Okay, let's start with first thing. What do you think about this new chairman? New INEC chairman, what do you think about him? What do you think about the appointees? I mean, of course, you don't live with him, so you don't know him in person. But I'm sure you've read one or two things about him. What do you think about him, first of all, before we talk about what you think about his appointment?
Well, just like you said, I have never met him in person, but I've read a lot of things about him. Since there was a speculation that he will most likely be appointed as INEC chairman by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It has also been in the news that he is a solicitor, a lawyer for Mr. Senator Dino Melaye, the Senator of the Federal Republic, and one of the activists, or one of the foremost personalities in the new opposition party that is APC. Looking at the new chairman CV, a professor of law at the University of Georgia, a man who has represented Dino Melaye in court in about 4 or 5 cases, and won almost the cases, and who has been very active in defending and prosecuting cases. Not just in Nigeria, but outside the shores of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Looking at that CV and his accomplishments at the age of 58 will give one the impression that if the man has a free hand, he will most likely do a very, very good job as INEC chairman.
If he has a free hand.
Exactly.
So, what do you think of him? What do you think of his appointment, though, at this time?
We, since Professor Yakubu has done his 2 terms and now that it is natural for him to give way to some other person since his tenure has not been extended, as we have seen the president do in a number of cases. He didn't deem it fit to extend Professor Yakubu's tenure. So that being the case, the appointment of Professor Amukito will appear to be a welcome development as far as I am concerned.
Okay.
The other issues that people have raised about his appointment is that this is about the first time that a Yoruba man will be heading INEC since independence. I think what we have always had is people from the south, people from the southeast being appointed as the chairman. And why do you think that is the case? It is the case because the contest for political power in Nigeria has always been very, very intense between the north and the south, between the Yorubas and then the Hausa Fulanis of the north. So most times, to give some semblance of credibility and neutrality to the activities and works of INEC, people from minority tribes, from tribes that are not in intense competition with these other 2 major tribes that I have mentioned, that is the Yoruba people and then the Hausa Fulani people, they are usually appointed as the INEC chairman. So, it would appear that Professor Amukito is coming in to break that jinx, coming from his background as a Yoruba person, even though of middle belt extraction. So it would appear to me, or from what I have read, the man is from Kogi State.
Yes, he is.
And by classification and configuration and what have you, Kogi State is deemed or is categorized as being part of the North. Even though the minority tribe there's a minority Yoruba tribe in Kogi State. That is the Okun, they call them the Okun people, the Kabayada, Bunu, and what have you. They are Yorubas, but they are categorized and then put in the northern part of the Nigerian political map. So, strictly speaking, you cannot say that the man is a die in the plot or a thorough bed Yoruba person. Because he's an agent, so to say, if we could use that word. Ordinarily should be to northern Nigeria, where the state he comes from is categorized.
And from what we see, what we're hearing, it looks like there's set to be drama coming in. Because, I mean, if my guest at the News at 12 is anything to go by, I mean, people have started using that calculation and the calculator. You know, the controversy surrounding certificate forgery, and we're also getting, I mean, a guest said that someone needs to calculate. I wanted to do that before the show, but, you know, trying to script the show, I totally forgot again. And he calculated that there's something wrong with his date of birth and his primary school certificate, that it's the mathematics is not mathematicking at all. I don't know if that is true. We may see controversy on our hand, and which would not be a good thing for an INEC chairman.
Well, that's a very good issue that you have raised. Very good in many respects. I am happy that the Nigerian people, and especially the Nigerian press, is beginning to live up to its responsibilities. All over the world, when people have been appointed and are given new posts, what usually happens is that the media will go into the archives and begin to dig out everything about the person to make sure they have a square peg in a square hole or a round peg in a round hole. So it is not abnormal for people to begin to dig into the man's background and try to make calculations as regards some of the claims that he has made. Because if the man has claimed this is my age or this is the school that I attended and all that, you ordinarily would expect to make it that especially coming into a very difficult position like the INEC chairman. And most times you and I will know or remember or realize that the INEC chairman position is a very envious position. It's also a position that the public don't trust. There is a huge trust deficit between the Nigerian people and whoever may be working, especially as INEC chairman in Nigeria. So the debate is good. These people are making inquiry and interrogating some of the claims that he has made with regards to his age, with regards to the school that he attended and what have you. I think it's a good development.
I just quickly did it. I just quickly did a calculation here. His date of birth, April 25, 1967. And that with the information I've got here, I don't have the information of his primary school here, but from the information I have from his Polytechnic, he attended Kwara State Polytechnic in Ilorin from 1982. Yeah. He was born 1967 and he attended Kwara State Polytechnic in 1982. It means he attended it at the age of 15.
That's a very troubling one.
A very troubling one.
Incidentally, most people come from Kwara, come from Kogi, and then Ekiti and Ondo State and all that. The Kwara State Polytechnic was a polytechnic school that most people leave secondary schools in those days are disposed to attending. It was a very good school at that period in time and war. Like I said, I also read in the paper that they say his age is 58.
58, yes.
So, with the calculation that you have just made too, it would appear that 1967 is about the age that he is also claiming. But again, we must be careful too, for so many respects. One, we are dealing with a professor of law, and when you are dealing with a professor of law, you have to be armed with your facts. You have to be sure of the evidence and the fact that you have.
Yeah.
Before you begin to make cast aspersions on the integrity of a professor of law. Secondly, you and I will accept to come from a family that is educated. For some of us who came from the village and whose parents, mothers and fathers were illiterate and all that, sometimes our age is a matter of a comparison with our classmates whose age were registered when they were born. Or when you get to primary school and you have a classmate who knows his age, who has a birth certificate and what have you, and you are in the same class, you are at the same height and what have you, most times you tend to think or you tend to rationalize that if this or if majority of my classmates are within this age bracket, I too should be within that age bracket. Since people are supposed to start primary school at about the age of 6, and sometimes even higher than that. Yeah. You rather say you should stretch your hand to touch your left ear, and if it reaches your left ear and all that, that is when you are going to be enrolled in school. But by and large, I think that categorization and then grouping, most times the differential is never much. I noticed that almost all the people in my class, in primary school, and even when I got to secondary school and all that, we were all within the same age bracket.
Age bracket, yeah.
Usually there are always maybe 6 or 3 months difference in between us.
Although there's always that one or two student that is like 2-3 years the senior, but
yes, if they started
but 95% of everyone they can will be in the same age bracket. Yeah.
If they started school very, very late, that usually happens. So because of that, the man may not even be sure of his age. He may just have made some claims based on what he thinks or the age bracket that he thinks his classmates are. Furthermore, and I'm not making excuses for him,
okay.
In the past, which is not the right thing to do, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do and all that, because people are always afraid of being retired, because they don't know where the next thing will come from.
Yeah.
When they are joining the civil service,
yes.
It's
not in the past. It still happens still today.
I mean, it is even people in the civil service.
Yes.
It is even people in the civil service. People are trying to recruit you or help you to get the civil service. Who would advise you?
People
to
have,
for 5 years of your age.
Yeah. People have like 2-3 different birth certificates.
Exactly. The people ordinarily should be the one to insist and then even verify your age. To be the one to advise you to say, look, if you want to stay long in service and enjoy this job and in this service, and you want to retire too quickly, the young cap more than some people young cap more than 5 years from their age. I hope the man has not been a victim of that kind of advice. Even though I'm not trying to exculpate him, I'm not trying to exonerate him, I'm not giving excuses of that. So many people have been victims of wrong advice and do good at. But whatever it is, he has his own case to make. And he be the one to pay if at the end of the day it is discovered that the age is claiming and then his education or something doesn't really target. He will be the one to carry his own kind of wrong, which will make it very difficult for the average Nigerian people and the voters and even the opposition parties and war artists to trust him. Already, people are making insinuation that because he is Dino Melaye's lawyer, and we do know that Dino Melaye and the present government are not
exactly
the best of friends. He and Dino Melaye are also said to come from the same area, if not the same time in Kogi State and all that. So that is another explanation that people are making. And he is also said to be a Yoruba person. There's also insinuation that maybe the presidency appointing so as to be able to start to begin to influence whatever decisions and what he will do.
Another case of tribalism.
Exactly. Tribalism, exactly. Especially when people are already making insinuation that since Nigeria's independence, no Yoruba man has ever held the post of INEC chairman. But I personally want to give him the benefit of doubt. If you are not good, if you are crooked, it will be difficult to rise to the level of a professor in Nigerian university. Where there is a very serious peer review mechanism. In the university, there is a very serious peer review mechanism that is put in place. And the competition is also very high. So if there are discrepancies in your CV, if it doesn't tally, if you have things to hide, some of your colleagues within that university environment will be the first to expose you and know that because of the highly competitive nature of the university environment. Furthermore, he is an international scholar. It is not just the Nigerian, his peers in Nigeria that we might have revealed him. Even his peers outside the country, he also has revealed his activities and be familiar with his claims. If his claims are not in tandem or are not tidy, probably very long ago, somebody would have spotted that and then point it out and what have you. There is no way he could have entered Polytechnic. Even though Polytechnic at that period in time, it's not university, it is HSC that we go to Ghana Police to do at that period in time. It is a 2 years, it is a pre-university certificate. They call it higher certificate and what have you.
It's an high institution anyway. It's an high institution.
Yes. It is not impossible for him to leave secondary school at the age of 15 After all, I'm the son of a farmer. And then I made the data criteria about the age of I think 24 or thereabout and what have you. And if you come from an educated family, which is not impossible, it's not impossible you could enter the Kwara Polytechnic at the age of 16. Because he was going there to do HSC, which is a 2-year stopgap between secondary school and then the universities and what have you before you enter the university. It's not impossible.
Anyway, but what do you think about the appointment at a time where Nigerians are crying for electoral reforms?
If you make the job of the man very difficult,
extremely difficult.
Very, very difficult. Because some of the reforms that people are crying for are reforms that ultimately should have been carried out before a new INEC chairman came into the INEC office. So that we will start with the new rules, with the new law, with a new constitution that will govern his activities. As it were today, it is the old paradigm, it is the old law, it is the old constitution, it is all the old challenges and baggages that we have to carry along in deciding the responsibility of that office. But the new laws, new constitution, or new rules and regulations, INEC guidelines and what have you are put in place. And remember, I think there's going to be an election in November or is it December? Is it Anambra, wherever, and all that. The challenges and the top deficit that the person just left the place had with them, he will most likely inherit those. Furthermore, it will be difficult now to carry out any reforms before the 2027 election for so many reasons. Because some of the reforms that Nigerian people are expecting, they will have to do with carrying with the Nigerian constitution. For example, a lot of people are not comfortable with the presidency appointing INEC chairman.
Which is one of the points I wanted to make.
Exactly. Because the belief is that once it is a presidency, who is going to be an active participant in the election, he is the one that is appointed the INEC chairman and all that. He will most likely not appoint anybody that is going to be tied to him. So that we carry out reforms that will jeopardize his election in 2027. These are one of the issues that we were told, or that it was alleged, Mr. Urubete brought out and then confronted Dr. Guro to matter with it. So why would Dr. Guro to matter allow somebody who will not be somebody disposed to him
to
carry out loyal to him to preside over the election that saw Dr. Guro to matter lose election in 2000 and then when he lost to President Muhammadu Buhari. Is it 2015 or thereabout?
Yeah, 2015, yeah.
And furthermore, it is a cliche, but a cliche that has refused to go away, but that has refused to die, which people continue to use up to the present time, that whoever pays the piper dictates the tune.
Yeah.
If it's the president that's appointing him, you don't expect that you now work against the presidency. And his case is not even helped much. His case is not helped much. We were told when we read in the media, it was alleged that one of the governors went to the presidency to say why is Professor Mahmoud now registering new political parties? That he is only registering new political parties in order to destabilize the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that the government has visited the presidency and advised him he should get Mahmoud out of the way and get somebody else into that place. If he doesn't want their permutation and their planning, and then their relations with 2027 to become the two party, and that Mahmoud should proceed on this. And lo and behold, just few weeks after the papers reported that, is when we now see Mahmoud also
rumors of him leaving.
And which Mahmoud himself now saying the story says he's leaving and all that. If he had planned to leave before now, the Biden would have taken advantage of the 3-month pre-retirement leave that most of these civil servants and public office holders sometimes go through before they go terminal or before the expiration of their term of stewardship. So, Mr. or Professor Shikiton will be facing a lot of challenges. He is inheriting a lot of baggages, a lot of deficits, trust deficits, that he has to work extra hard.
A lot of mistrust against the electoral system.
Exactly. A lot of mistrust. It is an Herculean task for him to really satisfy the Nigerian electorate and then the opposition party. So without satisfying, you cannot satisfy everybody. It is when we begin to decide the responsibility of that office free and fair, without any fear of anybody, that people will begin to trust, people will begin to respect them, that people will begin to now have, begin to give him the benefit of doubt that he could do a good job. But when it comes to skills, when you look at his resume, on the face of it, he has all it takes to be a good INEC chairman.
Does he though? Because I mean, it looks like he's been thrown into a sink or swim situation. I mean, he's never conducted election in Nigeria before. I mean, from even a local government election before. I mean, he's a law professor. He's done anything about law. He can interpret the constitution. And from the his resume we have here, he's specializes in company law, law of evidence, corporate governance, and privatization law. It has nothing to do with electoral reform here. So he's been thrown into the deep end, if you ask me, with all the baggage that comes with the office, with no experience whatsoever. And in November, December, he'll be conducting some elections, and of course, the 2027 is just like 2 minutes away,
around the corner.
Exactly.
You are making a very valid point, a very good. The argument, so to say, we wouldn't know, or we have not read, that he has also supervised any elections like some other professors have done,
yes,
in which they have made as returning officers in some state during the
exactly.
And all that. I haven't seen anywhere in which
if it's a different thing if it was one of the recs that were appointed, you know, okay, these people already have some experience. He has nothing whatsoever.
Like I said, the argument you are making is also one of the arguments I have read in the papers, in which they say, why don't you allow maybe the man who is a cold fox, whom Professor Amu handed over to, who has been there for some time, assume the responsibility has been appointed as INEC chairman, since she's already there, and she knows what is happening there, she knows the challenges and all that, and she will likely do a better job. The Green Horn, who is never participated, never conducted any election at any level, whether local government, whether state or at the federal level, to come in there. It will take maybe about 6 months and learning the rope, whereas there is no room for the learning process. So with that as is made, we lawyers always find ourselves as being tax of all trade. And that description might not be far from the truth. When you go to university to study law, you eventually study almost all the courses that anybody could study in the area of sciences, in humanities, in social sciences and all that. We do a lot of political science as law undergraduate. We do a lot of sociology. We do a lot of history. Mathematics is even compulsory in some of the universities that without you having the credit in mathematics, some universities will not admit you to study law. We do a lot of literature and war and things. So that may be good background for him, coming with that exposure, that multidisciplinary exposure as undergraduate and the practice of law may alleviate whatever shortcomings he may be lacking in terms of practical activities of conducting elections.
doing one borrowed courses in year 2 or year 3 is not exactly enough. I mean, we're talking about a national election here, a complicated country.
Yeah, but again, you must remember that the job of the INEC chairman is a supervisory one. We have experts and INEC commissioners at a different level. We have at the local government level. We have at the state level. We have at the headquarters level. There are specialized desks.
And this
in INEC at the federal level.
And these people have to take order from someone that knows nothing.
Not for that is not to be supervising them. They are there to advise him. And when they advise him, he takes the final decision. And you may not believe it. It is not impossible that decisions are taken at that level based on the majority opinion or based on consensus and what have you. The only area of challenge may be having is maybe in the area of technology. A lot of Nigerians are insisting or are wishing that we incorporate cutting-edge technology into our electoral processes and what have you. If it's not versatile in those technological areas and what have you, but if you have an INEC commission to advise him,
I mean, if
require consultants from outside.
If his age is actually correct, 58 isn't exactly a very old age. It's not an archaic age that he won't be.
That cannot learn
exactly
about the technology and what have you.
If he's a 70-year-old man, okay, then that would be a concern.
We may be anticipating the fear.
Exactly.
That the analog. And
that is if the 58 is not a football age, though.
Exactly. It could be. He's a full age. He may not be more than 58. If he went from secondary school to quality protected to PCHS, he may not be more than 58 and what have you. So, furthermore, the challenge I foresee him seeing is, you see, when you are buying hardware and what have you, a lot of these marketers will come to you with sweet tongues to sell different hardware to you, like it was sold to Mahmoud, IREF. If you want to acquire the IREF, from wherever collations or election may be conducted, election will just be transmitted electronically, and then we also tally the votes and all that, and then the decision the outcome could be announced on the spot. At the end of the day, we didn't see any difference in the use of IRF. Rather, when the IRF was declared and all that,
it wasn't even utilized. It wasn't even utilized at all. Glitches.
Exactly.
No
glitches
for those glitches. Exactly.
Exactly. Ultimately, immediately elections were complete and all that. Some experts will go into INEC to review what the glitches were, and then they will publish the report of their findings so as to inform and educate the Nigerian people, and also to serve as a guide against the occurrence of such glitches. If it was the hardware that was bought that was defective, and the report is really to that effect, then we stay away from such hardware in the future. But I would even want to say that most times as things are today, we don't need bulky hardware to be able to get very, very efficient results anywhere in the world today. And like we also said, we can seek the assistance of some of these technology companies run by Elon Musk, run by local entrepreneurs and what have you. So tidy up some of these things within a few hours. The handset that we carry about today, some of those handsets are even more powerful than the computers that we have in our offices. Look at the wonderful thing that the iPhone can do for those who really know how to use them. Look at the wonderful thing that they can do if you really know how to use them. So, a professor is somebody who could easily learn, who could easily catch on with a lot of things and what have you. Let's give the man the benefit of doubt in the interest of Nigeria.
I guess another question now, though, is will it make any difference? You know, because this looks like another case of soldier go, soldier come. People are people are crying for electoral reforms, and what we got is a new INEC chairman, and there is no sign that there will be any reform whatsoever. You know, because the problem was not Mahmoud Yakubu. The problem was the framework, whether both legal framework and logistical framework and everything that comprised. I mean, Goodluck Jonathan gave us something we thought would be used, and then the 2023 election came, and so many abracadabra came into play, and then all of a sudden we now, oh, this was not even reform after all. And then now people are now calling for real change, real reform. So if even if we get 50 new INEC chairmen, if those things that are needed are not in place, it will be another case of soldier go, soldier come.
Yes, you are hitting the nail on the head. You see, you are hitting the nail on the head. I think what could make the difference for the man is integrity. And the role of individuals sometimes could be very decisive in history. The role of individuals sometimes could be very decisive in history. Some people will tell you that without a Fidel Castro, the Cuban Revolution will probably not have materialized. Without a Lenin, the Soviet revolution will never have materialized. Because you have some outstanding American presidents. Because you have people spearheaded the emancipation of slaves, the abolition of slave trade, the stoppage of killing of twins for you people who came from Calabar. Without a Mary Slessor, without a Mary Slessor, maybe you people will still be killing twins today, and describing them as having that of evil.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that the role of individuals sometimes can make a huge difference. If Professor Amokito comes with integrity, and I believe he's a man of integrity, and he is ready to assert his integrity.
Wow, you're really vouching for him. Were you two roommates?
We were not. You see, I have this feeling that when a man has risen to the level of a professor, you expect him to be able to rise above the ordinary wrong. That people have never.
The universities we have these days, professor. If you're to go by that, then professors are some of the most corrupt people in the world.
But you see, now,
to go by how universities are run these days.
Let's go back to where I started from. The role of individual. You and I will agree with me that Professor Bega made a lot of difference. But Professor Yakubu, honestly, the person I got of him is that he never just did his job like an ordinary civil servant who never wanted to rock the boat. And you and I will also remember, in spite of all the wrongs, all the allegations that INEC is rocky and what have you, there was some outstanding INEC commissioners at the state level and the federal level at that point in time. And I made mention, I reminded you of somebody who once served as INEC commissioner in Akwa Ibom State, a lawyer who was based there in Lagos. I can't remember his name. I also remember Festus Okoye.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes, I also remember Festus Okoye, who was INEC commissioner for information and also a lawyer based in Kaduna. These were people who distinguished themselves. There's another man I can remember who used to be very active on TVC. He used to do a lot of programs on the TVC before he became an INEC commissioner. I think one of the state and world. Those were people who never compromised their integrity. They discharged their duty and responsibility to the Nigerian people to INEC. No matter what was God, they were threatened. They were humiliated.
And you think the president didn't know that? Didn't he appoint those people?
Well, the truth of the matter is that we are not going to ask our Lord Jesus Christ to come down from the sky to come and conduct a lecture for us in Nigeria. And even if it's not, if the mindset of the average Nigerian politician knows what it is, and the state still remain as high as it is today, the possibilities are that even if our Lord Jesus Christ come, the average Nigerian person will still want to compromise the integrity of the election if they could have their way. So, while we begin to suspect everybody, and if we begin and continue that way, by the time a good man comes around, we will not be able to identify him. We won't be able to identify him.
Antecedents and history have made Nigerians skeptical. You can't exactly blame Nigerians for being skeptical based on what we've been.
The truth of the matter is this. The truth of the matter is this. We have a very rickety foundation. And when the foundation is rocky, whatever superstructure, whatever you put on it, it will be difficult to stand. It will not stand. Why do I say this? Politics has become a killing field because of the reward that comes with politics. Except you demonetize politics, you reduce the reward and they take home from that area. People will do just anything to get into the realm of politics, That is one of the reasons you find out people will go and forge certificates to use to contest elections because they know once they get in there, whatever money they have spent to campaign and also to purchase the certificate, they will always get it back. Nobody will even have the audacity or be able to stand up to them again as governors and not and begin to make the kind of and begin to cast aspersion on their integrity and all that. So the first part of call is that we must reduce the remuneration within the profitability, the benefit that comes with holding the public offices as politicians in this country. My take is that if people want to make money, they should join an eco-dangote and become businessmen and industrialists where they could make money. And I have seen some comparison that was made, which I totally disagree with. Somebody said the president earns about 1 million naira and the governor of CBN earns 25 million naira and all that. And why should the CBN governor earn more than the president? And that would appear to me to be putting the issues on his head rather than standing the issues on his leg. The job description of the CBN governor and that of the Mr. President are totally different. And then the reason why the law has been issued to pay the CBN government that amount of money, there are very serious reasons. If the man is the one printing money, if the man is the man who will receive all the foreign exchange that is then abroad, bring back into the cover of CBN and all that, if he's the one who has to do serious now to make sure that the economy of Nigeria runs smoothly and all that, for God's sake, you need to reward such a person. This is also the one who has had to do econometrics and mathematics in university for so many years and all that. I would think it is better to make him comfortable so that he can manage your resources better. That is the way it is done all over the world. Politicians are not better paid than people who are in the industry or who are in the banking sector. And I gave you this comparison the last time on this program. You remember? Go and compare the salary of Sheikh Shagari and his minister, Sheikh Shagari as president, and then Alex Okena as vice president, and then the minister of the Federal Republic, and the governor of the different states at that point in time. Compare their salaries to the salaries of people working in the banking sector and the CPA, and even from university in Nigeria at that point in time. The political officers at that point in time were earning more than people were earning less than people who are in business and in the banks and even the universities.
Well, it is the same now on paper. On paper, with emphasis on that on paper, it is the same thing now. I mean, officially, the president earns 1.5 million naira officially,
yes.
but we both know the largesse and the allowances and that goes in millions and billions of naira.
Exactly. If you monetize the house that he lives, the Electoral rock, which is almost a whole time itself, that he lives, if you monetize the presidential jet that he himself They are still alone cuckoos around with and war happy. If you monetize all the other parasites of office and all that, and then you calculate all those things and all that, at the end of the day you find out that he earns even more than the CPN governor. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think the CPN governor lives in an accommodation that is as big or as furnished as Aso Rock. I also don't think he has access to as many times the presidential checks as the president has and what have you. So the truth of the matter is that we should compare apple with apple, oranges with oranges, and pineapples with pineapples.
Okay, sir.
It is always we do that, and we'll be making arriving at a just a conclusion.
Okay.
And what have you.
Okay, well, let's stay with you there and just say, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Of course, we're here, we'll be watching. Let's see how he's going to manage the plenty problem that the electoral system in Nigeria have. Let's see how he manages it, and of course, we'll be here to talk about it when the drama comes. Of course, we're here to analyze the drama too, which I'm anticipating. It looks like it's going to be very juicy. We'll be here to talk and analyze it. Barrister Kolawole, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
My brother, maybe we should appoint you as an INEC commissioner in Akwa Ibom State.
Cross River State, actually, not Akwa Ibom.
Okay, Cross River State. You have what to say.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister Kolawole. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time.
You have a lovely day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
That was Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Okay, the phone lines are open. Number to call 0700 903 903 903. Again, 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. Again, 0803 692 9933. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp number is 081 717 56338. Again, 081 717 56338. The other numbers, number to call 0700 903 903 903 and 003 692 9933. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
Joshua Robert from Kenya.
Okay, Joshua, go ahead, sir.
Please, I don't know discussion what you are doing the topic. Just switch on the.
We're talking about the new INEC chairman, and the question is, I mean, bringing a new INEC chairman at this time, will it make any difference, especially with now that people are calling for electoral reforms? Is this the electoral reforms that?
Hello, sir. If they can do the electoral reform, it's better. Because this chairman they appoint now, they appointed for themselves to rig the 2027 election. I know them.
Okay.
But I know our president. I know what I'm saying.
I can hear you.
But I heard in the radio that the man was born in 1967.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that's the information we have. Meaning he's 58 years old.
Please, as I'm talking to you now, I'm 65.
Okay.
On 1st of October this year. So you have to do thorough investigation of that man before any other thing. Yes, sir. That's my own contribution.
Okay, thank you. Zero 0700 903 903 903 003 692 9933. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please, and your contribution.
I'm Emmanuel. I'm Emmanuel from Oregon.
Okay, Emmanuel from Oregon. Talk to us.
Yes. Well, the problem with the country, Nigeria, is not the INEC chairman. the INEC chairman is being appointed by the president. So the president, there is an oath taken which the INEC chairman must abide. And by that reason, there is nothing that the INEC chairman can do because he is on the hot seat. So that is the problem. So it is the problem is the act of the president being the person to appoint the INEC chairman. That is the problem. If they can remove it in the law, change that law, then we don't have any problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Solomon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
I'm a job for calling from Mr. Kingdom.
Okay, Joffo, go ahead. Talk to us.
To me, this all this scenario, to me, just an old wine in a newly designed bottle. There's no difference between the immediate sacked chairman of the INEC and the particular one now. What we should go for is the electoral reform. Let our vote reflect. All these things we're not going nowhere because it cannot tell me now the president will just appoint somebody that to be a chairman, then the man will kick against him. It's not possible. And I'm urging Nigerians to stand up for electoral reform, please. Good afternoon, Solomon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, King Solomon Ofem, the wise one.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
Thank God it is Friday. A happy weekend in advance.
Happy weekend to you too. Thank you. Same to you.
My name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanja, Nekoti.
Okay, Peter. Go ahead.
First, I want to disabuse the minds of many people. I've had some rumors being told that the proposed new chairman of INEC, Professor Joash Ojo Amikliton, was one of the lawyers that defended His Excellency, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the 2023 general election in the Supreme Court, or in the court rather. He was not at all. He was not one of them.
Not even. I've not even seen any news about that.
I've had that on certain platforms.
Oh,
it is
really?
not. So if you check the list, it's not one of the lawyers at all. Then coming to the age itself, let's give him his last track, whether the age is right or not. Because some people have always been saying that there are some differences in that age. But I'm not talking about the age. I'm talking about the academic qualification. That is very, very important. If there's any problem with academic qualification, the Senate should okay. That means the DSS did not do the real job. Because the Senate is not to actually see whether he's qualified or not, but to know that is to confirm him in as much as they are presented him to the Senate. Then do that as it may. The question you ask is what to be the difference. You see, if Jesus Christ comes to conduct elections in Nigeria or any other place for that matter, even be it in America, you find the people that lost that election will criticize Jesus Christ and say that Jesus Christ was partial in that election. Why the winners will always praise Jesus Christ for winning that election. So we are praying that this man should maintain his integrity and do the right thing. You understand? So that there be no chaos. Because when there's chaos after the election, that means there'll be problem in that election. But if there's no chaos, then we think that at least he has done the right thing before and after the election. The most important thing in my own INEC reform is that the right person should be sworn in after the whole cases must have been argued in court. Not that he should be sworn in probably when the cases are still in court.
Okay,
that is the best reform I can give.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome to VOP.
Yeah.
What's the name where you're calling from, please?
Yeah.
Yes, this is Ben calling from Mazamaza.
Okay, Ben, talk to us, sir.
Yeah. Yes. In fact, the immediate caller, I love what he said. I think reform should be done in the way that the masses will actually believe that INEC is independent, and also the masses will also understand, will know that this is a democracy. And the president appointing INEC chairman, I believe it is one-sided, because you, Mr. Solomon, you will always want to do the deed of your master, especially in African context. But if it's abroad, nobody cares about who appoints. It doesn't matter who. The person will do what his conscience tells him. But I pray that this young man will not do like other professors, because some people are talking of academic qualification. Academic qualification has never done any good thing for ad issue, considering the past professors who have been in charge of INEC as chairman. We've not seen them. We have not done well, apart from Humphrey Musu, every other one, or the Gobedia from Medo. The rest, they're just messing up that professorship or whatever degree they have. So I pray that this man will have conscience, especially now that Nigeria is in turmoil. We're in a crossroad. We're in a state of quagmire. Let the man, because the problem we're having now is INEC and the judiciary. If we get these two things well, I think the masses don't need to, but whoever that gets it, give it to that person. That's where I stand. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Hello, welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling from, please. Hello. Okay, let's read some messages. Good afternoon, VOP and good people of Nigeria. Ikenna from Ikorodu. What is your guest saying? This is how we start making excuses for him. We have started. If it was an Igbo man from the southeast, by now the presidential spokesman would have released statement by now. If his age is wrong, let him step down. Your guest is trying to look for words so he can paint him good, because this is the first time Yoruba person will be holding that position. Has he given him the position? What about the southeast that has been calling for president? Now it's good because it's Yoruba. It clears now that the Yorubas and Hausa has a plan of sabotaging an Igbo person to become president, as it's now, if Obi and his popularity, credibility and acceptance all over Nigeria was a Fulani or Yoruba man, it should have been seen as a savior. It goes to show what and who we are. We are not after credible people, but tribal and religious people. That is the problem. God save Nigeria. Good day, Solomon. The INEC commissioner who he's talked about in Akwa Ibom is Mike Igini from Daddy Uzurumba. Okay, yeah, Mike Igini. Thank you very much, Daddy Uzurumba. Appointing new INEC chairman will not change anything. It will be business as usual unless there is electoral reforms, which will be the constitutional amendment. But the man in power is not ready for that until River Niger flows backwards. John from Janiki. Hello.
Hello, Mr. So. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
I'm Gospel calling from Badagry.
Go ahead, please.
I say quickly, this government has shown that they are not concerned with any features of corporate governance like accountability, transparency, equity, and fairness. And we've seen a National Assembly that are not interested in oversight and monitoring. And based on because this government has weaponized poverty, the people has been disenfranchised. My question is this: must the INEC chairman, must they always be professors? You understand? Must they always come from? Why they? Me personally, I would have said they should have appointed somebody like Showore to be INEC chairman. You understand? Those are the people that can look at the face of the government to do the truth. So moving forward, my question now is this: how do we now move this country forward? Because if we subscribe to the idea of restructuring, who will restructure the country when the government has appointed, and this government has shown that they've pocketed all the institution of the state. So now, right now, I just think we're in a dilemma. And based on what your analyst said, we should just watch and see. Thank you.
Thank you. It is very wrong for the sitting president to appoint the INEC chairman. We are back to square one. Ifoma from Ejigbo. Hello. Hello, welcome to VOP.
Hello.
Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
I'm Mr. Dennis.
Can you switch off your radio and TV set, please? We're getting a
Okay, calling from Gondo.
Can you switch off your radio and TV set?
Okay, I can see that. I've done it.
Okay.
You know, this INEC of there's no smoke without fire. As the former one is going to do, this is how this present one is going to do. You understand me? That you cannot betray your master. So if you can get the chairman in any other places, I would have liked it that. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Congratulations to the new INEC chairman on his appointment. However, his educational certificates and job experiences cannot be used as a criteria for his performance at this critical seat. As far as he was appointed by a sitting president, he is reporting to him, and he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Nigerians are watching to see him and his team to show their neutrality and umpire status in the course of official duties. We hope that the professor will jealously defend his integrity without any element of conflict of interest. Noah from Igondo. Thank you very much, Noah. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon, my brother.
Welcome to VOP. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, my name is
Calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling you from Imo State anyway.
From Imo State. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, go ahead. Talk to us, please.
Yeah. So let me tell you something. I will answer my own by proverb. Something costs something to become something. So what I'm trying to say is this. Our president said that he's coming to start where he needs. That the law is a professionalship. Why don't that if there's one thing, let them gather all the whole professors in Nigeria to connect them, the people who will win, if they are looking for professors. Otherwise, something costs something to become something. That's what people talking.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
We are.
Because when the president entered, he said he's going to start with the person who left. General Muhammad Buhari, that is going to start where he stopped. And we know how they have been doing it. Now, and they are taking professors. Let them invest.
Oh, we're losing you there. We're losing you. You're breaking.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we hear you. You have to round up now, please.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, if they want a professor, why don't they organize professors in Nigeria to give them somebody who is going there? Connect it by themselves without any party. Or let them make sure that all the whole political people who is contesting for presidency round up and select. Thank you. Otherwise, something can become something.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Soul. He who pays the piper dictates the tune, if you know what I mean. We are going to cry the same way we cried in 2023 election. Another glitch is in making. Nigeria will hail the Madam Flores. Thank you very much, Madam Florence. Hello.
Hello.
Can you move away from your radio TV set? So I can hear myself.
This is Afun Adama calling from Idimu.
Okay, Afun Adama, go ahead, please. Talk to us.
So I want to ask a question. Now, this Nigeria we see today, they make it for one tribe. For this government to point every family, every state where they make on top, many Yoruba people dey there. From chief of army staff Yoruba, IG Yoruba, chief of military staff Yoruba, chief of everything Yoruba. Now I make chairman Yoruba. So I don't know where we are going to. Nigeria need to say something. All the politicians, our politicians, they don't say something about this. Maybe they just going to fighting for 2027, everybody 2027, everybody 2027. We are Nigeria. I don't know where we are going to, because I didn't support this at all. There's another tribe. There's another tribe. This post now Yoruba go down top.
Okay.
So where that was happening for this new generation?
At this point, does it even matter what tribe? What matters now is electoral reform. It doesn't matter whether that person is your.
That's electoral reform. They don't do them. If they do that electoral reform, this government cannot do that.
So the problem is not the fact that he's a Yoruba man. The problem is the fact that we need electoral reforms. So let's not make an issue.
This electoral reform where people the crisis, how many this thing, this government not to do them. Because if they do it, they affect them. It affect them like tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
It affect them way. Then they can't do that. They can't do it. They don't even extend of this.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please. I can hear you. Tell us the name where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello.
Looks like you can't hear me. Good afternoon, Solomon. What we need is electoral reform. If Tinubu lie, let him appoint his wife or son. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Tinubu can never employ anyone who isn't loyal to him. Baba is still the same. All we need is electoral reform. Rahim from Agege.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling from Ikotun.
Ikotun, your name?
Tunde is my name.
Okay, Tunde. Talk to us, sir.
Can you please give me a table? All those people who are making tribalist, tell them to come down. Tell them to.
Can you move away from the radio TV set, please? We're getting a call back. Or switch off totally.
Okay. Now, we all know Bola Tinubu. He puts his friends where he wants to them to be. You should forget about this man. Let's discuss the people for Nigeria. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm an indigenous of Lagos. And I believe in one Nigeria. I don't believe in all this he put in Buddha, he put Yoruba there. No, I don't believe in all those things. God bless us. Please. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Please help me make it a point of order. Please. Anybody wants to go into that kind of trouble and anything, press your head.
Thank you.
I'm a Yoruba man. I'm not happy at all about all these things that they are saying. Yoruba, Igbo. That man does he like anybody? Do you know what he has? Do you know how much has gathered in Lagos? Do you know what he has put into his pocket in Lagos State? Do you know what he's doing there even in Abuja? I don't know why all the friends that he put there, they are his friends. Those are the people that monitors his life. It doesn't matter whatever anything. God bless you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello. Hello, welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from. Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
This opportunity is Hugo from Agor Palace.
Sorry, again?
So I was hearing people talk about electoral reforms, and I keep wondering, as long as the electoral reforms will still give provisions for most of the cases to end in court, are you going to do reforms for the judiciary? So
Yes,
whatever you do with the electoral reforms,
it is part of it. The legal framework is part of the
case
of
is
the
going
reform.
back to the judiciary, to the court,
Looks
for
like
which
you
they will
can't
always
hear
tell
me.
you go to court because they know that they own the court. As long as it will always end in court, the electoral reforms will amount to nothing. Okay, so I'm sure that we used to have something like tribunal, electoral tribunal, and I suppose that should have been the last resort to resolve issues that has to do with the election or whatever. Like in America, you have the electoral college. So I wouldn't know our own electoral tribunal will not be able to solve issues that have to do with our election. I keep wondering, so why will our elections go to court? As long as it will always end in the hands of the Supreme Court, then there's no election yet. The reforms will not even be effective. Thank you so much. Great job you're doing. Great day.
Thank you. It appears you couldn't hear me. Electoral reform, it's all encompassing. It also includes the legal framework. And in a situation where all electoral matters end in the ballot box, except of course there will always be a few exceptional cases, and then the electoral tribunal or whatever legal reforms will be implemented in the reform to make sure the legal aspect of it is credible. That's the idea. The electoral reform is not just about IREF. It's also about post-election matters. A good day, souls. Happy weekend. When the president appoints the INEC chairman, that is not automatic winning. Sheyi called from Itire. We need electoral reforms in this country. INEC chairman should not be appointed by the president if he actually need a free and fair election. Jerry from Ikeja. Ogasulu, the way this country is going, I don't see a future being bright. Today's politicians just keep on recycling themselves in the system. Bra from Satellite Town. Greetings, souls. Domination. Francis from Oshodi. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kolopi.
Good afternoon. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
My name is John, calling from Ajegule.
Okay, John, go ahead, please.
You see this, some of these Bakola really claim to Yoruba. Don't, they should understand that the people are appointing are his own people. And even part of them are the Igbos. They are the Igbos. If there is one guy called Mabaka and Atebile here, even the Igbo guy that is called, Mabaka, he's an Igbo guy. But if I tell them mobilize the high mobilize for 3 minutes ahead of 257, you will think that he's Yoruba man. So they should stop generalizing the Yoruba. Because of me, I have a friend. I'm not a Yoruba guy, but I have a friend that they are Yoruba. They supported obedience to Lagos here. That was really what people could do in Lagos. So this generation of the thing, they should not stop imagining Yoruba so they will not be dead and the Yoruba will not be having bias against the 207. Please, they should stop this generalization. I beg.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. The man in question is from North Central, not Yoruba man. Please try to correct them. Well, he's region wide, yes, is not central, but he's from the Yoruba tribe of Kogi State. But that doesn't matter anyway, it doesn't even mean anything. We should please allow him to work before we started complaining of the newly selected INEC chairman. We should all try to be positive for once. Nigeria will be great again, Mr. Olawale from Ejigun Agbede. Oh, I hope I got that correctly. Good afternoon, Solo. The first time I heard Peter Osifo being positive in his perception and views on matters of life and death. May it be the grace. May he be that grace has taken over him. Then on the appointment of INEC chair by Tinubu, if Nigerians fail to rise up and take back their country, the worst is yet to come. Eugene Mary is Sherry. If we continue to suspect anyone to be bad, then a good person come, you would be unable to identify that individual. This is one quote to many Nigerians who have a predetermined, one-sided, messed up mindset. Even if you make an angel the INEC chairman, same people will scrutinize his tribe. This is a major factor in Nigeria today. This useless tribe tag into everything in Nigeria should be seen as a pandemic that has clouded the mentality of many Nigerians. Sometimes I feel Nigerians deserve the kind of politicians we get because they are as terrible, corrupt, tribalistic, selfish, myopic, and ignorant like the politicians. Where would you bring an INEC chairman that people wouldn't complain about tribe? What nonsense. Please cut such people off who are using the platform to furnish their tribalism clowns everywhere. Tay, thank you very much, Tay. Good afternoon, Solomon. Solomon Asika from Munshi. Did you know why people poured out to vote during the 2023 election, which I believe was the highest in which electorate came out to vote, mostly the young ones, was because of the IRF and the way it was propagated. It's going to work. But what was the result? Glitches. Good afternoon, Solomon of longest time. Professor Joas Joy Amupiton, a seasoned academic and legal expert, has been appointed as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Amupiton is a professor of law. Okay, you raised all his credential. I think we should give him a chance, Mr. Gumbi from Idumo. Thank you very much, Mr. Gumbi. Congratulations to the new electoral boss, who is a brother from a different mother to the president. If Yakubu could tell us about technical glitches, then expect another vocabulary from the professor of law in 2027 post-election. The electoral boss in Ghana was a businesswoman, not a professor, who has been a lawyer. The electoral boss in Ghana was a businesswoman, not a professor, who has been a lawyer to Dino Melaye. Let's hope that Mukweton's name will be writing on the wall and not to see him with Alex classmate as a party. A day before election, George from Olodri Papa. Good afternoon, Solomon. No, hey, Leko, your messages are usually very long. I will cut them, no worry. Good afternoon, Solomon. Read my message. How can there be credibility when INEC chairman is appointed? When INEC chairman is appointed by your president, it's like Man United appointing a referee, linesman, and VAR assistant versus Chelsea. They cannot favor the opponent, and you ask, how can INEC be independent? Like they say, he that pays the piper dictates the tune. Why didn't you allow Yaga Africa or civil society choose credible person like Mike Guinea or the Abia State Electoral Officer as a case study? I heard that this man appointed was one of the lawyers that helped your president in the 2023 election. Also, your CJN is appointed by your president, and your judiciary compromised with 300% salary. Okay, this is where I will stop. Lekon from Lagos. Thank you very much. Time is really against us. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Regarding the new INEC chairman, he was brought for 2027 by the president to fulfill his mandate. An arrangement is for him to deceive Nigerians through Anambra and Osun election. What do you think that made Ojus Okalo began to boast about winning 2027? The game has been concluded. I am Reverend Dr. Richard Chidi from Ikotun. Thank you very much. Solomon, tell your callers crying Yoruba that they should leave Yoruba alone. Tinubu no send anybody, but only his gang. Besides, he has the constitutional power to do so, and also let them remind that no Yoruba has even been INEC chairman since democracy. So they should calm down and stop being biased. David from Oshodi. The president should be sincere with the country by giving us good hope of his leadership than taking Nigerians like conquered fools. Habba, Baba, what is wrong with your smartness and 30-year study of Nigeria's problem? Chinedu from Badagry. Good day, VOP. Electoral reform is what we need. Americana from Agor. Good afternoon, Solomon. Mr. Solomon, my name is Mr. Chris Uzodima from Ejigbo, Lagos. I think it's high time we make a law to whoever bring any tribal sentiment in any Nigerian issues. Honestly, tribalism and those pushing those narratives are the real enemies of this country. We should be talking about competence, not here, not where the person comes from, okay? Let me ask, will it be better the president appoints someone like Joe Igbokwe or Ojus Okalu? Please, we should stop all this tribe of a thing. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Thank you for good work. Inside me, I'm not happy about all this talk. Let's Nigerians talk about electoral reform. If not, we'll still be the same circle. Nke Oputa. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. If I am appointed by Tinubu into the INEC chairman, I will make him happy, even though I am from Southeast. The problem is the system. Let's work towards changing the system. That's the only way Nigeria will work. Nana Okiafa Badagri. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. It is time for us to go. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your contributions, phone calls, and messages. Until next week when we come your way again, do follow all our social media handles at VOP903FM and subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903FM. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. Next week, Monday is another time, 1:30 p.m. The program is Matters. Station is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I am Solomon of FM. Good afternoon.